My name is Brandon, also known as the Never Noose. I'm one of the hosts throughout the weekend, and I'm joined by...
I'm Kai. I'm Carnage Cuz, or if you saw me last night, I was Kai Anami. And today we are dealing with the best tech reviewer on YouTube. He's also a voice actor, also does, Vine, YouTube, and many other things. Let's give it up for SungWon Cho.
Woo! Come on out. There he is. Come on, make some more noise. Come on. Until he sits down. Keep going.
Hello, how's it going? All right, so this is just general Q&A, I believe, right? And do we have a mic up there? Or available for the audience?
Yeah,
Okay.
We'll take some questions a little bit later, but we're going to dive into some questions of our own.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. I'll go with my first question. Can you tell us about the YouTuber to voice actor pipeline? How did that happen?
How, the YouTube to voice actor pipeline?
Yeah.
A lot of people think I started with YouTube, but I actually started in voice acting in indie games. And so I did a lot of that, and then YouTube just kind of happened by accident. And YouTube and both voice acting both sort of started to kind of take off kind of coincidentally at the same time. So it wasn't necessarily like YouTube led to that. They just kind of both happened. But I was doing voice acting before YouTube took off.
Do you find that when you were obviously growing both of those things at the same time, was there a flood of indie devs that were really hitting your lineup when you were kind of growing on YouTube?
I don't know if necessarily, I think a lot of people think that YouTube popularity leads to more roles, but I have just found that not necessarily. I mean, I'm sure there were things that people wanted me for because they saw me on YouTube, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of people don't care if you're in YouTube, actually. It kind of is not something that they're necessarily looking for. I think for me, maybe just a lot of it was just seeing me do voice work and other stuff, and that's kind of how they got interested in me.
Nice. Yeah. Cool.
Like the voice acting and the YouTube and the Vine is all cool, but I really want to know about why did you decide to be like a tech reviewer for the hit YouTube channel Fix-It-Man78?
So yes, that for those who don't know, that was on Dropout. I did a cameo on Game Changer, and that was just Sam. I know Sam, and he just I think texted me like, "Will you come record this thing?" And he was like, "I want you to do it in as monotone a voice as possible." So I did, and then I did not know at all what. I kind of knew what it was going to be used for, but when I saw the final episode, I was like, "Oh, this is great!" And I would love to be on Game Changer one day as a contestant. That's like a dream of mine, is to be on that show.
Oh yeah. And like that one channel, like the one video on that channel already has like almost like 30,000 subscribers.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy. Will
Nice.
there ever be a sequel to the Fix-It-Man78 video?
I think you'll have to ask Sam. I don't know myself, but they should make like 1,000 of those videos.
Can you talk us through Kpop Demon Hunters landing that role and just how huge it's become? And
How did I land the role? I don't know how much I can talk about, but I'll just say that they did ask me to come in, and I did a few voices. I did Abby Saja. I did a few other bits, and I went on the Sony lot to do it, and I was like, oh, that was really fun. Like, and the movie looks really cool. I hope people watch it. And then it turned out to be the most watched thing of all time ever on Netflix. So I'm just very happy to be a part of it. But yeah, I think one of the directors had been wanting to work with me for a bit and had just asked me to come in. So yeah, that's pretty much how it went down.
Do you have like a favorite of the Kpop Demon Hunter characters?
Do I have a favorite of the characters? I think Mira is my favorite. I'm also buddies with Mei Hong, who voices her, and I think Mira is great. I love her attitude. I think she's fun, so she's my favorite.
Could we expect a K-pop Demon Hunters cosplay from you in the future?
A K-pop Demon Hunters cosplay from me?
Yes.
I mean, my physique, it just matches him perfectly. So, never say never. I have dressed up as some of my characters before. Who knows? Maybe one day. Yeah.
Manifesting.
Yeah.
Okay, getting into characters as a voice actor, can you talk me through what you do to get into those characters? Is there something you maybe chant or like a reference?
To get into character, or do I do any like rituals or anything? No, not necessarily. Again, it's kind of boring. It's just, you're told what the character is, you either audition for the character. The one thing I will do is to test if my range is all there, because maybe sometimes I had like a really rigorous session and maybe I'm not feeling 100%, there are two different characters I voice and I make sure I can do both of those voices. There's a character called Kage from Ranking of Kings. And Kage sounds right here. He's up here. And then Vasaraga is another character, and he's down here. So it's like if I can do up here and down here, then I know that I can perform at full capacity. So sometimes if I'm not sure, am I at 100%, I will make sure I can do those two voices because that kind of like is the full high, low, gravelly range and just checking in. So, yeah.
Well, on the topic of anime, in the holy year of 2026, what would you say the big three are, in your opinion?
In 2026?
Yes.
I don't keep up with anime too much, but I will say Frieren is definitely one for me. I love Frieren. 2026 specifically, I'm very interested. I love the manga. I haven't seen the show yet, but Witch Hat Atelier is one I intend on watching. And then the third of the big three, like now, what else am I interested in? I haven't seen it yet, but I just got announced that I'm in it. And I love the manga. There's a show called Akane Banashi, and that is a manga I really love. So I'll just say, sure, that'll be my big three. Yeah.
Very good choices.
Thank you.
When you do land a dub role, what's the preparation like? Do you go and binge the series? Like what do you usually do?
No, I mean, I think everybody does it differently. I generally don't necessarily feel the need to go watch it. If I have the benefit of having read it already, that can help. Like Delicious in Dungeon was one of those shows for me where I had read the manga, so I knew everything to the point where the director would ask me questions about the character. In fact, I'm good friends with, there were two directors on Delicious, Alex Von David and Lucian Dodge, and they're both great. I'm very good friends with Lucian, and I actually let him borrow my volumes of the manga to help him read ahead. So it can help, but if it's a series I'm not familiar with, I don't necessarily go out of my way to read it. In fact, sometimes I don't actually want to know what happens. Like I mentioned this show, Ranking of Kings, and I loved working on that show, but I intentionally did not watch, like it was airing, beforehand, but I didn't watch ahead because I didn't want to know anything the character didn't know. So for me, as that character, I only saw what he saw, and I had no idea what was going on in other parts of the story. And then later when I watched it, I was like, oh, there was a lot of other things going on I just never saw, but I kind of prefer to only know what the character knows. So I won't necessarily go out of my way to do extensive prep or anything.
That's really cool. I really like that you're putting yourself in the mindset of what the character knows and just viewing the universe of what you're voicing through what they would see. It's really cool.
So, Ranking of Kings, you did your Kage voice. Can you do that voice, but from Australia? Like it was set in Australia. I want to hear the Australian accent.
You want to hear Kage in an Australian accent?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Well, first off, do you want to just hear me try a regular Australian accent?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Make some noise.
Okay, I mean, no pressure. All right, then. Someone was so
Someone's
excited about it.
excited.
All right, this is my Australian accent. I guess I'll just sort of talk like this, and it's like this kind of thing. I'm not sure which region of Australia this would be. Where does it sound like I'm from?
Yeah, that's where you were going, yeah.
Okay.
Queensland mentioned.
And be totally honest, how does it sound? Pretty good?
I like it.
Okay, pretty good? Okay. Like for me, I've done this for Auntie Donna, and Auntie Donna gave their approval. So so I'm like, I feel like at that point, it's got to be pretty decent. Because obviously most people are like, good eye, mate. Oh, yeah, right, throw your shrimp on the... But it's like, But if I actually earnestly try to do it... I have a very good friend of mine who's Australian, so I think that's why I can do it pretty decent. Because I'm just sort of like, copying him a little bit, So that's just where... And then, so you wanted Kage. Oh, God, okay. So Kage is like this. Kage is like this, then. All right. I sound like I'm Bluey or something, yeah. Oh, g'day, yeah. Wow, what an interesting exercise. Should I just do this with all of my characters?
Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. Senshi's around here. Okay, what would this sound like? But I'm Senshi, and it's ready. That sounds... wow, this is a very interesting acting exercise, I will say. Yeah, I should just go through all of them, but no, yeah.
Maybe later.
Well, at the moment, the crowd is loving you. But what is a controversial anime take that you have that will get them to absolutely boo you?
A controversial anime take. I will say I did a panel yesterday where people were pitching me their favorite anime. And overall, it was a high batting average. I think Adelaide overall has actually very good anime taste. So let's see, what would be something that would get people mad? Okay, here's a show, I don't even know, it's not like a recent show, but a show that I think is absolute trash is No Game, No Life.
I agree.
Okay, yeah.
I agree.
See, the thing is, they're cheering for it. It means they have good taste in Adelaide. I don't know, I don't have any super hot takes. I don't really keep up with a lot of the super modern stuff, so I'm very not knowledgeable about it. So yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of boring in that way.
It can be about something classic like Naruto, Dragon Ball Z.
I mean, I like Naruto
My
and Dragon
Hero,
Ball Z.
your absolute favorite anime, My Hero Academia.
Who's booing Naruto and Dragon Ball Z? Get over yourself. Sorry, what were you saying?
It could be about it doesn't have to be anything recent.
Well, yeah, No Game, No Life is not recent. I don't know. Nothing super hot take comes to mind. Yeah.
You just don't want to get booed, do you?
I mean, I did just get booed. Yeah. All right.
You acted in the film Blackberry,
Yes.
working with Matthew Johnson. How was that? First of all, Nirvana, the band, the movie. I'm just going to mention it.
How was working on Blackberry?
Yeah.
So I don't know if anyone's familiar with this film, Blackberry. Does anyone know Nirvana, the band, the show? Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
So if you haven't seen Blackberry, it's by Matt Johnson, who's one of the creators of Nirvana, the band, the show. It is a sort of like dramatization of how the Blackberry was made. And I acted in it, live action actually. He emailed me out of nowhere. I had no idea he knew who I was. And he was just like, do you want to be in this movie? And I was like, I think this is a fake email. But then I asked a friend who knew him, and he's like, no, that's his real email. And it was just wild. I mean, I went to Toronto. I shot. I got to shoot with Glenn Howerton from It's Always Sunny, and Jay Baruchel, and all these people, and they were all really nice. It was just a very pleasant, easy to work with group of people. And it was very critically acclaimed. It won a bunch of awards at the Canadian Awards, and people really loved it. So yeah, I'm just very grateful to be a part of it. I think Matt is extremely talented, and I'm very happy for his success.
Awesome. Hopefully you'll get another email for his next project.
I know, yeah,
Yeah.
I'd love to work with him again.
Just hoping.
Yeah.
Well, now that we're bringing back the classics,
Okay.
would you kill YouTube to bring back Vine?
Would I kill YouTube to bring back Vine? Here's the thing. Vine was a wonderful thing, but I feel like it was like a time capsule. I just feel like it'd be hard to recapture that. I will also say that Vine makes you $0, whereas YouTube actually has pretty good monetization. But I think Vine is just like it's like you just gotta treasure something that was in the past and just remember those good times. I think so I would not kill YouTube for it. Yeah.
Lives on.
No.
Yeah. Okay, going back to voice acting. If you had to start from scratch today, looking at the industry, like you've got all the knowledge, but you've just been wiped, you're back to square one. What's some advice that you would give to yourself or to anybody wanting to get into voice acting?
Oh boy. If I had all the knowledge I had now and I was starting from scratch now, dude, it's such a wildly different time now. Not to get too pessimistic, because I know this is all supposed to be good vibes. I would tell myself, boy, you're really making me go through like an existential crisis right now. Something that I've gotten better about is like, I think a lot of actors struggle with this, is like feeling like, I think you need to take the time to appreciate what you've accomplished as you go. I think that's very important. And to not be like, but I want to do this, I want to do that. I think that's important. I think, oh boy, let's get real. Okay. I think when you go into voiceover as a sort of like a naive, maybe like young sprout, you think, like the best person always gets the job every time, and everyone auditions, and then they always pick the best person who's the most talented, and you learn over the years that's not the case. There are a lot of factors beyond your control, and so I think I would tell my younger self, hey, just focus on doing good work, and really don't stress out about stuff that is beyond your control. There have been a lot of experiences in my career where, for very silly reasons, a lot of executive meddling, a lot of things that you can't expect things to always go fairly. Not just for myself, but for anybody, right? It's a very common story in this industry. That's just Hollywood, So I would just say to my younger self, just focus on doing good work. Don't stress out about things you can't control, and just appreciate what you've accomplished as you go. That would be what I would say.
Beautiful. Yeah, best foot forward, no regrets. Yeah, clap for that answer, yeah. Beautiful.
And, Brandon and I have been asking all the questions here, so we're going to open it up for the crowd if anyone has any questions.
Sure, yeah, there's a microphone there if you guys want to line up.
Hey, hello.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Fix-It-Man 78. Recently, my washing machine broke. The cold wash no longer works, and sometimes it just randomly beeps when we shut the door. How would I go about fixing that myself?
I unfortunately couldn't hear a single word you said.
Yeah, speak up. Yeah.
Okay.
Eat the mic.
Yeah.
Hello. Hey, everyone. Recently, my washing machine broke. The cold wash is just stopped working at all, and sometimes it just randomly beeps when we just try to turn it on. Since I love your work, Mr. Fix-It-Man, how do I go about fixing my own washing machine?
So they have a broken washing machine, and they're asking how Fix-It-Man 78 would go about fixing their washing machine.
How would Fix-It-Man 78 fix your broken washing machine? Again, this will make no sense to people who have not watched Game Changer, but he would go, ah! And do that. Has anyone watched this? Does anyone know? Okay. For everyone else, go watch Game Changer on Dropout. But I think Fix It Man would just scream at it. That would be what he would do.
Thank you. I will report back with my results.
Okay. Thank you. And then sorry if I can't hear, it's very echoey, so I might ask you to repeat, but yeah.
I got you, homie. Don't worry.
Or could we turn up their mic a bit for the audience?
Yep. We might need to turn the audience mic up. Okay, we got someone on it.
I mean, you could just yell at it
All
to
good?
fix it.
My question for you is technically two. Who is your favorite Straw Hat?
Okay.
And if you had to eat a devil fruit, which one would you want to eat?
Which devil fruit would I eat?
Yes.
My favorite straw hat is Nami. And my favorite, what devil fruit would I want? You know, this is maybe a boring answer, but I forget, is it the door fruit, blue nose, where you can just open a door and just go
Yes.
anywhere? To me, like, I don't want something where I can fight. I'm not a fighter. I'm not gonna fight someone, I'll get arrested. But if I can just open a door and go somewhere, that'd be great. So I would say those would be my answers.
And if you just had a random devil fruit in front of you, would you eat it?
Do I get to know what it is?
No.
Ooh.
Could be anything from the jacket fruit to the gum fruit.
That is a very interesting question, because I guess the only thing you give up is you can't swim. And while I like swimming, I'm not swimming every day. So, yeah, I'll eat it. Why not? Yeah.
I know.
All right, thank you. Hello.
In Borderlands 3, how long was the process, like, recording everything? Because there's, like, so many, like, dialogue, like, pieces of dialogue you have to record. How long did that take?
Borderlands 3 was a lot of sessions because I think also it was kind of the first game where the characters kind of talked a lot more. So it was interesting. I got to kind of experience, I haven't played the game yet actually, but I kind of got to experience most of the game's story through their interactions with all these characters. So that took a while. And then battle chatter takes a lot. There's a lot of like getting poisoned, getting shocked, getting shot. You know, you have to record all of that. So it was many sessions. Very fun. I really like working on it, especially I'm buds with the director, Joel McDonald. He's great. But yeah, voicing a main character in a video game, you record a lot of lines. You have to record every variation, jumping up, landing, you know, every possible sound and variation and battle call out you can think of. You have to record all of it. So it was a lot, but it was really fun. Thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
For indie roles like Lackadaisy or Big Top Burger, do you get to put more of your personality into the role compared to dubbing roles?
Compared to dubbing roles, you said? I don't necessarily try to put my own personality into characters unless they happen to, if I relate to them in some way. But I would say that, I don't think it's that different. I think indie productions can be almost identical to bigger productions. I think it just depends on the script and the director. Lackadaisy is a series that I've been a fan of for a very long time. So like Delicious in Dungeon, I think I just got to put in all my knowledge and stuff into it. Does anyone know Lackadaisy? It's an animated pilot. Okay. So some of you might have heard me tell this story before, but my experience with Lackadaisy was very unique in that before I was a professional actor, I did comic dubs of them as a fan. This was before anybody knew who I was. And then Tracy Butler, who's the creator of that comic, liked them and she would reblog them on Tumblr, which I was very grateful for. It kind of helped me build my audience from scratch. And then flash forward, I want to say, like 10 years later, I get an email from the showrunner and they're like, hey, just so you know, we'd like to offer you the part of Mordecai because your voice for that character is Tracy's personal headcanon for that character. So for me, that was a very like full circle, like I can't believe this is happening, because that was something I've been a fan of that since I was a kid. Like I'm talking 2006. That comic has been around forever. Back on LiveJournal. Anyone know what LiveJournal is? Okay. So I've been a fan of that for 20 years. And so for it to get a fully animated pilot, and then we're getting a fully animated show, and to be able to voice that character is one of the most surreal things I could have possibly imagined. I'm probably in the Matrix, and that's fine. I'm just accepting that I'm in the Matrix or something. But yeah, so with something like that, I just know that character so well that I feel like I can just put in my knowledge and love for the character into it. So, yeah, thank you for your question.
Thanks.
I was wondering, like, what were some of your favorite things about voicing characters like Brian from the Monster Prom series, Sunder from Boyfriend Dungeon, and Doug from Date Everything?
All very different projects, actually. Brian is very funny because it's very easy. They just send you like an Excel sheet and you record it like in like 10 minutes. Like, so I haven't played them yet. I want to play them, but I haven't played them yet. So very easy, fun. I've voiced a few other characters. Again, very simple. Sunder from Boyfriend Dungeon, that's a deep cut. A lot of people don't know that character. He was fun too, rewarding. And then you said Doug. Doug was fun because he's just a dick. And I'm good friends with Ray Chase, who's one of the creators. That was also a very easy one. I came in, I recorded all my lines in a day. Yeah, I don't really have any interesting anecdotes. I think a lot of people expect, you have like all these like funny stories, but usually if it's a smooth session, that's a good thing where nothing super crazy happens. But all three were really fun characters, very different characters. But yeah, I had a good time. So thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Long-time listener, first-time caller. When it came to voicing Flack in Borderlands 3, did you have any favorite voice lines or favorite interactions during that sessions?
One line that's pretty great is, "I have no blood, so I'll be taking yours," which is pretty metal. I think that's probably my favorite line I can think of off the top of my head. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
This question isn't related to voice acting at all. Which is better, chicken ramen or pork ramen?
Ooh. They're both good, but the best pork ramen, like a tonkotsu broth, is way too good. So I gotta go pork, I think.
Excellent choice.
Thank you. And yeah, the questions don't have to be voice acting related. I'll answer whatever within reason. Hello.
Is there any iconic story behind your classic arm-crossed photo with the pink background?
So my headshot, my accidental headshot, the one you see at every convention and all the publicity photos, that was purely, I was asked out of nowhere to do an interview for Emmy magazine, like the Emmy Awards, because I guess they just wanted to talk to me about voice acting. And so they sent over a photographer to my house who set up like a sort of green screen backdrop. And then he just do different things. And I just did all sorts of poses or whatever. And then he was like, yeah, if you want these, we're gonna use them for the magazine, but you can have them. And then I just went through, I thought that one, I don't know, that one just feels like my energy. So I just picked that one. That's kind of how it came about.
Hey, I really enjoyed your board game reviews back in the day.
Uh-huh.
Just wondering, in more recent times, what have been your top 1, 2 to pick out?
My top board games now to play?
Yeah.
I'm finally finishing up a campaign of Gloomhaven. We are almost done. We've been playing for like 2 years, but I love that game. My wife and I play Aeon's End. It's a co-op deck building game that I really love. Those are the two that I play the most regularly. Marvel Legendary is still my favorite game, and I just ordered the new second edition of that game. But I'm always playing stuff all the time. In fact, how many board games do you think I've played in my life? Take a guess.
At least 200?
At least 200? Do you want to guess?
I'm going to go 500.
500? How about you?
436.
Higher. Try one more time.
600?
I have played to date, I'm pulling it up right now, 2,604.
Oh my gosh!
Yes. I literally played some last night at the Lost Dice.
Make some noise, let's dice!
Because whenever I travel, sometimes I'll see if there's a board game cafe, I'll go play. So I think I played 4 new games. It was 2,600, but now it's 2,604. Shout out to the Lost Dice. So, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have any information about the second movie of Kpop Demon Hunters?
I have no information beyond what you have. And if I did, even if I did, I couldn't tell you because otherwise they would kill me. So.
And a second question.
Yeah.
Do you know Glitch Productions?
Do I know Glitch Productions? What about them?
But what's better, The Amazing Circus or Murder Drones?
Could you say it one more time?
The Amazing Digital Circus or Murder Drones?
I'm not super familiar with either. I have not seen Murder Drones. I've seen the first episode of Digital Circus, so I guess I would have to say Digital Circus just because I've seen a little bit of it. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
I just wanted to ask, in your personal opinion, do you think aspiring voice actors should pursue voice acting coaching or some sort of training, or should they just go dive straight in with just what they know and go from there?
They should, I would highly, as someone who didn't receive any sort of formal training, I would highly recommend you do, actually. I think it will only speed up the process. I think for me, I'm self-taught, but it took a long time. Whereas if you work with someone who's reputable and knowledgeable, I think you can get very valuable experience from a class or a coach. So that would be my recommendation is, I would recommend it. Any kind of acting experience you can get, I would recommend.
Awesome. I also just wanted to say you voice me and my boyfriend's favorite character in Lackadaisy.
Oh, nice. Well, thank you. Thank you for watching.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Hello.
Hello.
I was going to ask, what's the most challenging role you've had as an actor?
The most challenging role, like in terms of voiceover?
It could also be on screen, but like, you do a lot of voiceover, so probably that.
I would say on camera is more challenging because you have to memorize your lines. I would say in voiceover, related to that, I played a character called Ratatoskr in God of War Ragnarok. And that character was challenging. For those who don't know, I wrote the character as well. I came up with his backstory, came up with all the voices. They hired me on the writing staff for that character. And then I did the motion capture as well for his introduction scene, which is a very surreal experience because I'm in the motion capture suit, and I'm watching Chris Judge, who plays Kratos, is in the middle of the stage, and they have a puppet of the squirrel jumping around like with a puppeteer, and in real time. And the puppet would go on his shoulder and do all these things. I'm on the side of the stage. There's a platform behind me, and there's bars in front of me. And so when the squirrel is scurrying around climbing, I have to be climbing while doing his lines in real time. If he sits on his shoulder, I have to sit on the thing. There's a little part where he's eating like a little thing. I had a piece of candy. And the whole time I was like, why did I give myself so many lines in this scene? I had to memorize all of it and do so many different things. It was very fun, but definitely a challenging experience. The rest of his lines I just did in a voiceover studio, but his introduction scene where he's talking to Kratos, he's doing all this stuff, it was challenging for sure, but it was very fun.
I only played original God of War, but next question, is that motion capture behind the scenes footage available somewhere?
I would love to see that. I don't know if it's ever been posted. I think it might have actually been shown at a game developers conference, because I think somebody told me they were showing it, and I was a little jealous because I would like to actually see that footage, but I don't think it's publicly available, no.
Hey, thank you.
Of course.
Oh, hello. I'm a big fan of the TCG content, and I'm kind of curious, so two-parted question. Number one, are you a fan of any of the new TCGs that came out recently? So like HoloLive, Gundam, I guess One Piece is fairly new. And then do you have a combo memorized for one of them?
I don't keep up with TCGs that much anymore. I collect the One Piece card game. I also think the game is fun. I've played it. I collect Lorcana, and I like that game as well. I played some of the Gundam card game, and what I had played of that was actually quite fun too. But I don't have any combos memorized just because I'm more of a collector now than someone who's building decks. I think it's fun, but I just don't have the time for it. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There. Oh.
Hello.
We've already established that you're a big fan of Delicious and Dungeon. What would you say your favorite monster from the series is?
Ooh. My favorite monster, I think, has to be, just conceptually, the living armor. Because when I read the manga for the first time, I was like, how are they going to eat living armor? But they do it, and it's very clever. It's very like a really thought out like how you would do that. So I think that one has always stuck out to me is like, how are they going to eat that? Oh, they're eating it. That's got to be my favorite, I think.
Follow-up question there. What do you think the best tasting monster would be?
This is a boring answer, but the one that made me the hungriest and made the director and engineer hungriest was the Red Dragon. The Red Dragon barbecue looked so good. So I think that would have to be my answer. That looked delicious.
Thank you.
Of course.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. I'll ask two questions. So
Sure.
firstly, how or why did you come up with your username ProZD?
Okay, yeah.
And also, like, what was your process for those? You mentioned like those videos, like Lackadaisy that you dubbed, or like the Tumblr videos you dubbed. Like, what was your process for getting that, and then producing that video? Did you have to ask permission or something like that?
The first question, what does ProZD mean? Only my wife knows, and I didn't even tell her for like years because it's too dumb. So unless you're married to me, you don't get to know, unfortunately.
Okay.
The second question, I mean, I just kind of did them. I don't think people usually need to ask for permission for that kind of thing, just because it's just kind of fan. Like you're just doing it as just like I don't know, a fan thing, right? But I don't know. I was just such a big fan of that comic and just wanted to practice voice acting, and so that was what I did. I just did that, and then I was just lucky enough that Tracy happened to really like them a lot and shared them. So yeah, that's just kind of how it came about. All right.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
So I got screened for this question before I heard that you essentially wrote an entire character for God of War Ragnarok. Favorite ad lib you've done?
In any role I've done?
Anything.
Interesting. I don't ad lib that much, actually. There's one I can't say because it has a swear word. In BlackBerry, I don't know if you remember it, but I drop an F-bomb in a scene, and that was just me improvising. Matt Johnson definitely encouraged a lot of improvising on that. Yeah, there's a couple things in there that I was proud of. As far as voiceover, I'm sure there's something, but I can't think of something on the spot because usually you're just going by the script. I can't. Unfortunately, I don't have a good answer for you. I feel like in live action, more often you're kind of doing spontaneous things, whereas in voiceover, you're kind of more focused in on the script. At least that's how I like to work anyway. So I don't have a good answer for you, but yeah.
No worries.
Yeah, thank you. Hello.
What was the creative process for Anime Crimes Division?
For Anime Crimes Division?
Yeah, and how proud were you with how it turned out?
So for those who don't know Anime Crimes Division, it was a live action sort of comedy series I did for Crunchyroll and Rocket Jump. The creative process, Freddie Wong is a good friend of mine. He just asked me if I would do it. And I was like, are you sure? I've never done anything like this before. I've never acted on camera. Then he was like, you'll be great. And I'm very thankful to him because that show was basically live action boot camp for me. I learned so much. I didn't know about hitting a mark. For those who don't know what that is, there's, X's on the ground and you hit when you do your scenes, you hit the X to make sure you're in the right spot for camera and you do all this stuff. I had no idea about any of it, but I got to learn through working on that show, all of it. And I went through a lot on that in a good way. I had to do a whole fight sequence. I had to do so many different things. I'm extremely proud of how it turned out. I loved working on that show. I would love for us to do more one day. I had such a good time. I'm still good buds with Freddie and Matt. But yeah, I think Anime Crimes Division is probably one of the most challenging things I ever had to do because I was the lead character. I had so many lines. I had to practice fight choreography. But I loved it, so I'm very proud of it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You've mentioned in a few places before that when you were a kid, you thought you might be a teacher one day. If you had to become a teacher now, what subject would you want to teach and what age group would you want to teach?
Interesting. I think kids are terrifying these days. I think with the rise of TikToks and 6, 7, and I don't think I understand kids anymore. But I think back when I was maybe I'd be a teacher, I thought I would want to be a high school English teacher or something like that because I always did English classes. If I were to do it now, I don't know, maybe I always enjoyed video classes in high school. Maybe I would be that teacher. I'd be the high school video class teacher. You're making videos or something. Or maybe, I never thought of myself in this way, but maybe the drama teacher. I don't know. That would be kind of fun. But my life went a very different direction. But I think I would just see myself probably teaching high school, I think. Yeah. All right. Hello.
I was wondering if you had any tips for remote recording to do with voice acting, setting up your space on a budget, or just anything to do with the process?
I am not the best person to ask because I actually don't have a remote setup at home.
Okay.
But I know there are resources online for it. I think the most important thing for remote recording is not your microphone. I think a lot of people have that misconception that you need an expensive microphone. The treated space is very important. And I will say some people, when they were just starting out, they just used their closet. They just put up padding and stuff. It doesn't matter how good your microphone is if the room is echoey because if stuff bounces off walls, that sounds really bad. So I would say get a decent mic, an XLR mic or something, and find a space that has where you can put up some foam or whatever you can get. But I'm not the best person to ask, unfortunately. But I know there are definitely resources. There's a Discord community called Voice Acting Club that I know is run by professional voice actors, and a lot of aspiring voice actors go to that. I would say maybe go there and see what they say. They probably have better advice for me than me on that topic.
I'll have a look into that. Thank you.
Awesome. Hello.
Especially love the video you made with Veronica Taylor.
Oh yeah.
I'm wondering what it's like to work with voice acting legends from your childhood, and do you have a favorite?
Out of people I've worked with, or just in general?
I'm not sure.
Not sure. I mean, working with voice actors you looked up to is very surreal. It's unfortunate because post-COVID, group records don't really happen anymore. Before COVID, I did get the chance to like work with other actors on. There was a show I did for Cartoon Network called OKKO, which I loved that show. And then got to work in the Cartoon Network studios. Unfortunately, that building no longer exists because the world is terrible. Yeah, getting to work with people you looked up to is very surreal. The one I was fortunate enough a couple years ago. I'm in this show called Bat Wheels. It's a preschool Batman show. And I voiced the main bad guy, Bad Computer. But Tom Kenny voices my henchman in that show. And that was one of the rare opportunities post-COVID. He and I got to record an episode together. And I'd never met him before. And we were doing our lines together. And he was so nice and very talented, of course. But he did something that was so... I was very sort of like... affected by, like, he didn't even do this like necessarily for me. I did a big monologue because my character does a lot of monologues, and then he just sort of reflexively just went great, like not even to me, just like he was like that was great. And hearing someone like Tom Kenny say that, I was like, wow, I can't believe this is happening right now, because he was. So that's one guy I really have looked up to and was fortunate enough to get to work with. But there are plenty of legends. I mean, unfortunately, Tom Kane recently passed, but he was amazing. Corey Burton is one of my favorite voice actors of all time. Jennifer Hale, she's great. There's a lot of great voice actors who I really look up to. And then I've had the fortune to get to either meet some of them or work with some of them, and it's always very, very surreal. So,
Thank you very much.
yeah, thank you.
Would you recommend voice acting to someone with no training as a job?
No. I think you need to have some kind of training. Are you someone who's interested in becoming a voice actor?
Yeah, I've auditioned on this site called Casting Call Club.
Okay.
And I do sometimes voice. I can get my voice very high, very soft myself.
I would say training is not required. But like I mentioned before, voice acting classes and any kind of experience you get will only benefit you. Not to get too, what's the word? Pragmatic, but I'm a very pragmatic person, so I want to give you sort of like the most real thing I can say is that voice acting is one of the most difficult jobs to get into, to get your foot in the door with, and it's one of the most difficult jobs to maintain. I think a lot of people don't think about like, oh, if I just start voice acting and stuff, then I'll get to voice act in everything. But the way that the industry works, it is one of the most competitive jobs imaginable. Because, quite frankly, I think a lot of people don't think about this. When you get into the auditioning space, you're auditioning against every other voice actor you know that has a similar voice print to you. So, going off of that, I would say every weapon you can give yourself, the better. And that includes classes, training, whatever you can do to level up. It's all a big level grind. That's what voice acting is. You just have to keep improving yourself, getting better. And so while training is not required, it will only help you and your odds once you're actually in the ring against people. Because there are a lot of amazing people, even in the indie space. I started in indie games, and the level of talent in the indie space is incredible. There are a lot of amazing voice actors who, sure, they don't do, let's say, higher profile things, but these days, I don't even know what that means anymore, because what's even being made anymore? Stuff like Glitch is proving that indie is just as powerful as, big budget things. So not to go on and on about this, but I would say my best advice to you and to anybody, if you wanted to get into voice acting, you have to give yourself as much of a chance as you can. And that includes, if you get an acting experience, training, classes, improv, anything, because it is a very, very difficult job to get into and to maintain. So I hope that answers your question.
Thank you.
Of course. Hello.
Hello. I had a question from an acting perspective. When approaching characters, do you go more off of the visual appearance of the character, or do you develop them more from the concept of the character?
That's an interesting question. The answer would have to be based off the concept, because there are plenty of roles where you don't get to see what the character looks like. If you have the fortune of seeing the character design, then yeah, sometimes that can inform what you might want to do. But I will say there's an example I always think of in my career. I voiced a character called Holst in Fire Emblem Three Hopes. And when I was recording that character, I didn't get to see what that character looked like at all. I knew who the character was because that character was often mentioned in Fire Emblem Three Houses, and I played that game a lot. So what I did was I based off my voice and performance off how the character was written, and I had no idea what he looked like. Then the design came out, and I was actually like, oh, that's not what I thought the character would look like at all. But I actually like the voice I did for that character, because I think if you looked at that character on surface level, he kind of looks like a big bruiser, and so maybe I would have been influenced by that and be like, oh, I'll make him a little more. But the thing is, he's not like a meathead character. He's actually a very intelligent, very thoughtful character. And so I actually really enjoyed the performance I did for him. And so, yeah, I guess that kind of reinforces, I don't necessarily put too much stock in how a character looks. The only thing I can think of is age. Sometimes because some characters are older, so they might have a little more texture or things like that. But as far as stuff like body shape or, whatever, anything like that, I don't necessarily think about that stuff because I don't think those qualities have a voice. You know what I mean? I think what I would like to focus more on is the character's personality, their relationships to other characters. That is what I focus in on, and the writing. If the writing is strong, then already I'm kind of just informed on how the character should sound. So, yeah. Of course. All right, is that the last one?
Yeah, we're out of questions.
What time are we at? Are we at time?
We got 4 more minutes if you want to push
4 more minutes if somebody wants to ask a question. No pressure, but I'm here.
One more.
One more? Okay, what do you got?
What is your favorite food and why?
Oh, interesting. Okay. My favorite food is kalbi. It's a Korean short rib. Anyone know kalbi? Is Korean food a thing in Australia? Okay. I love it because my mom made it, or still makes it. She's alive still. She is an amazing cook, and it's my favorite thing that she makes. I love just a really good fatty piece of meat, and to me it's just it's sweet, it's savory, it's got everything I love in a dish, and then it has the benefit of childhood, association with it. But I also just love the dish, so that would be my favorite food of all time. All right.
All right, yeah. Well, round of applause again for SungWon.
Thank you. I just wanted to say that right after this, because this is my last day for I guess it's the last day for the con, right? I will be going back to my table for last call. If anybody wants to stop by, pictures are free. I'm happy to take pictures. I've got things if you want to purchase them, but I just want to make sure, because I'm not in Australia often, if you want to come see me, this will be literally the last chance you have. I'm going to head over there right after this. And if you come see me, I'd love to say hi to you. Otherwise, thank you very much for your questions. And overall, Adelaide has been a really welcoming, lovely place. I've had a great time, so I just want to thank everybody for having me.
Woo! All right, make some noise. Don't stop cheering until we've left the stage. Come on.